What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube. I am Brayden, or BCL in the Call of Duty world, and today we're gonna go over another role video. So this one is a little more abstract because I didn't sit down with the intent of filming this. So this is footage from my most recent team's practice, which I don't love showing on YouTube just for, certain strategy stuff like that. So I try to make sure the audio is turned down low so you couldn't hear a lot of talking. But this was a game I played really well at, and this is one of the only maps where I play this role. So overall, I'm a flex, so that means I can play both AR and SMG. But on Cave, I'm primarily an AR, and what I like to call kind of an entry AR, even though those don't exist. There are entry SMGs, which we will get into in another video, but so this is what I call a flex. Being a flex doesn't mean you switch weapons every time you die and stuff like that. My rule of thumb is if I'm not doing great or there's a certain situation coming up, I will switch my loadout but keep the same gun. So this class you're seeing right here, this is my Octane AR. So this is the class Octane uses specifically on Cave, and his best overall thing is P4 Hill on here. He has a spot and it works perfectly. So normally I will use my normal AR, the one that I've won prizes with, stuff like that, and then for P4 I will switch over to this AR. But this is on this occasion I just decided I'm gonna stick with this AR the entire game. And so yeah, so a flex to me means in the pregame you can figure out what you're going to use, stuff like that. Once you're in the game, my rule of thumb is, okay, if this class isn't working, let me put on my other class type thing. But always keep the same weapon. So I have 3 different SMG loadouts. I have 4 M4 loadouts. I'm not switching between M4 and SMG throughout the game. Now, if, let's say, your captain or coach, something like that, has you run flex, obviously listen to what they say, but my personal rule is I don't think it's fair to the team to have 2 tempos going on at the same time. With the SMG being fast-paced, stuff like that, and the AR being, slower and more methodical. Now this is Flex AR because it's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of Slayer, it's a little bit of objective, so I pretty sure I finished 22-8 and or 20, yeah, something around there, and then like 3 minutes in Hill, which is very rare overall. So yeah, so I view this as entry AR as well as flex. So I mean, entry AR isn't a thing, so we call it flex. Enough with the freaking intro. You're supposed to get into the hill and clear around it. So right here you can see me in P4. I'm clearing the enemies out there, but I'm sticking in hill and staying for time. Here I actually talked to my teammate Sir, because I've never seen anyone sit there, and that kind of throws me and him off. But so basically so my first life I'm staying in the hill, and then I eventually died in the hill. So I figure out where I spawn, and that determines on what I do next. Now, there's about 20 seconds left. I'm going to work my way back in. I'm going to clear around the hill and get in it. Ultimately, I didn't see that guy, so I died. And then with about 13, 11, 10, I recognize, okay, they can take the scrap time. Let's go to next. Now, if I'm not wrong, this is the... actually, no, I am wrong. And this is the other aspect. So I said in comms, I'm going to stay back P1 and clear out Cave. My clip is like glitching for some reason, I don't know why. But you also, if you're far enough away from Hill, remember you do have an AR, you can sit back and have those fights. But for instance right here, don't throw away your life as a flex AR, but you can also realize like hey, I'm gonna nade and run, and if I kill them, great. If not, I'm going into fight. It has to be like, especially because I only run this in respawns. It has to be a thing like I've compared it to the entry SMG all the time. You can die, but just get in and shoot. Now entry SMG, you obviously have to win your gunfights, but like this is the AR version of that. So I've always run, like before I got into the competitive stage, I wouldn't run this class because this is one of my newer classes, but I'd always run an M4 and take a bunch of hill time, which I quickly learned after I started getting into competitive that isn't that common. I mean, if you can do it, great, but it's actually not great for the team. So you're gonna see right there, my friend AR, he got hill time, and then he asked me to swap with him. But ultimately I had to kill someone before I could take kills. So your priority is to slay, and I believe it's right here where we swap. So I'm in and I tell him to go out. Ultimately he dies, which is unfortunate. We get collided. But it's about the communication, which every role has to do. But he was in hill. I had to clear outside my first life. My second life, we met back up, and I said, I'll take it, you get out. Because he was also an AR on the team, so he had to recognize, you know, hey, I'll give it to my flex AR. This is the best toe hold I think I've ever seen, at least by my side. I'm not going to give you the full layout just because, you know, I never know who's watching this. I doubt it's any of our competition, but still, it's a great P4 hill time, or excuse me, P2 hill time, and on that second rotation, usually game is close to tied around that if you guys are even, so holding full on this is really important. And this is the good part about playing that flex AR role, is I called for backup easily, and you can let them abandon their position because you have an AR. So like if I had an SMG and I said, hey, I need an AR's help over here, and they got the kill, well, the position the AR left is now wide open, and if that was an AR there, it's a long line of sight, so an SMG isn't really going to help that. But with the flex AR, it's good because you can call in your fellow ARs for backup and cover for them if you have to, which is probably the most OP role in the game. If you stick with your ARs and you talk to your ARs, you have to treat yourself like another AR. So like for me, I've always, like on my two professional amateur teams, I was a main AR, and that's all I ran. I've recently been getting into SMG, and currently I usually run SMG on respawns and AR in search and destroy. ARs are OP on this map though, so I had to run it. But it's great when you can, you know, kind of use an AR as an SMG in certain circumstances. So that's going to be the video. Thank you guys for checking this out. I will do more so you want to play certain roles videos in the future. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and check the description for my prior video and some of my socials. Alright, thanks.